You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, we're going to talk about Caitlyn Clark and the WNBA Commissioner. The Commissioner has come out and made comments in regards to the treatment of Caitlyn Clark on the court, and it seems pretty clear. I said I thought Cathy Engelbert had sort of an understanding of the branding that was walking into her league, the potential monetary value, the gain, the ability to explode her league. I did a video last night. The WNBA is going to lose $50 million. The NBA is going to fund this S show for another season. Even with the Caitlyn Clark explosion in popularity, now that's really because of television deals. That's where all these sports leagues make their money, is off television. And they need Caitlyn Clark to be upright playing in games, so when they get around to negotiating the next television deal, instead of getting some piss-poor deal, they can actually get a true amount of money, a large amount of money, coming in for WNBA games. I mean, they may have to televise all 40 Caitlyn Clark games. And, of course, last night we took a look at the attendance. It's very clear Caitlyn Clark is the one moving the needle in this league. When you've had 600,000 fans come through the turnstiles to see WNBA games, and 210,000 of them are Caitlyn Clark fans, you might want to understand what it is you've got in front of you. And Caitlyn Clark fans evidently have been blasting the commissioner through email. I don't think this commissioner is going to do anything. It's clear they do not feel like there's a targeting issue. Look, we've all talked about rookie hazing being sort of a thing in sports leagues, and it is. But we can also tell that there's normal hazing and then there's something else. All right? There's something that's got a little extra layer of hate. And we've talked about the fact that she's white and straight in a largely activist league, right? I think that's added something for these players. So this is what she said right here. Cathy Engelbert is basking in the glory that has been the intense focus of the league she leads. Whether it's positive or negative, Engelbert is welcoming all discourse about Caitlyn Clark and the rest of the W. Quote, look, apathy is the death of a brand. Well, you better recognize what's going on. Nobody's apathetic about the WNBA because we've brought in so many new fans into what we call the fan funnel this year. And yeah, some are frustrated for sure. No kidding. I get a lot of emails that I've never gotten in 4 years, but that's because people care. A lot of those viewers have tuned into the league this season, have done so because of Clark, who was a college phenom and has brought her bright, burning star to the professional ranks. But Clark has been given plenty of welcome to the NBA moments since the season started, and a flagrant foul by Kennedy Carter during a game between the Sky and Fever earlier in June created a storm that the league has never seen before. The shoulder check, the forearm shiver, the bionic elbow on Clark drew outrage from fans and Fever fans and led to plenty of ink being spilled in newspapers across the country and hot air being expelled on sports debate shows. That's exactly what the WNBA needed, was people talking about them. So that led her to further talk about this. Look, you got ex-WNBA players, and you got people involved with the league that's telling the league this is not normal. And I don't think the league's listening. There have been plenty of highlights, a few lowlights, and perhaps too much chatter surrounding the 22-year-old sharpshooter. One of the theories shared by fans as well as Fever general manager Lynn Dunn is that the guard is being targeted for hard fouls by players around the league. Look, it's not only the sense that she's being targeted, but when Angel Reese is leading a celebration of somebody getting blasted, there's something going on here. All right, that's not your normal, hey, I mean, she's openly celebrating somebody else getting hurt on the court. That's all there is to it. And you can't tell me that's not soaked up in hate. It just is. To deflect those claims, Commissioner Cathy Engelbert brought up the Fever's most recent win, 85-83, over the Mystics, in which Clark scored 30. Quote, "Did anyone say she was targeted in that game?" Engelbert said to USA Today, Josh Peters. "No, because everyone's just looking for the outcome they want. But it's great fandom, it's great discussion, and I think obviously we will continue to look at and review games after the fact." Well, here's the thing. You just happened to not have an incident in that game. Or yeah, the world would have exploded if you had of. You can't use a game in which nothing happens when you've had 4 or 5 other games. There's been a blatant sort of incident that's happened in there. Wow. I mean, okay. Well, did you see that game? Nothing happened. Well, you got lucky because no player playing against her was pissed off at the time and thinking, well, by God, I'm a star. This should have been happening for me. Let me go out and hit the girl in the mouth. God, that's stupid. That's wild, really. Earlier this month, Fever coach Christy Side says the team has been submitting plays in which Clark isn't getting calls on hard fouls to the WNBA League office for review. Dunn echoed the statement on social media and requested that the WNBA cleans up the, quote, unnecessary targeting actions. I mean, seriously. Engelbert also said she has received thousands of emails from fans about the former Iowa guard. Believes the physicality against the rookie is the norm rather than the exception. Agreed. Quote, "I think everybody's watching Caitlyn, so they're focused only on Caitlyn. But when you look across other games with players, it's a physical game. There's no doubt about it. It's a pure shooter's game. It's a physical game. It's a lot of pick and rolls, a lot of seeing the floor." You know, again, everybody, God, I grew up in the era where we had the Bad Boys Pistons. That was one of the most physical teams that there was. The Bulls, the Indiana Pacers, the New York Knicks, guys like Anthony Mason. You know, I mean, those were wars on the court. They were, and they were very physical. But again, at no time in watching none of those games did I feel like it was an actual personal issue, right? This feels different. And again, I don't think the WNBA commissioner is recognizing and looking closely enough at some of the statements and some of the comments from players in the league regarding the rise of Caitlyn Clark's popularity. They're clearly jealous and they're clearly hateful about it. And that's leading to something different on the court, something that feels different on the court. And the problem the WNBA commissioner has got, well, the fans that came into the league, the thousands upon thousands of fans that came into the league to watch Caitlyn Clark, they're not going to want to continue to sit back and just watch their heroes, especially all these little girls, get the shit beat out of her out there. At some point, they're going to say, okay, well, this is nonsensical, it's ignorant, and obviously this is a league that doesn't care about Caitlyn Clark and what it is she can do. We're just not going to watch anymore. You know, we don't want to continue to see this. I don't know. I hate these comments. I really do. The WNBA seems to have its head in clouds. They lose $50 million. The president of the Connecticut Sun, who's on that Team USA board, is like, oh, yeah, it's not in our purview to worry about how many people's going to watch. Well, you're hemorrhaging money and have been for 3 decades. At what point does it get into your purview exactly? I mean, seriously, if I was, and it comes down, maybe it's owners that need to get involved. Some of these owners, it's a lot of NBA owners involved in this. Maybe they need to get involved and get with the commissioner and say, look, this is our opportunity to score a $50 million a year television deal or something like that. and at least start looking at breaking even. It's crazy. Let's not make money. Nah. We'll just keep footing the bill. If I was these owners, I'd be like, nah, we're going to do whatever we got to do to make sure this sport looks the way these fans want it to look so we can make money. Somebody else is going to come in and start a different women's league, and it's going to be like, Caitlyn Clark's going to be like, bleep it, I'll be the face of that league, and goodbye 2/3 of all WNBA fans that started watching. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.